2015 was one of the best years in recent memory for video games, and fortunately, it looks like 2016 is keeping with the momentum so far. The first half of 2016 is jam-packed with exciting titles on the horizon, to the point where I thought it might be helpful to list out the top 30 upcoming games in the first half of 2016 alone. This video will cover numbers 30 through 21 and will feature most of the worthwhile releases from January to March. It's been 8 long years since Braid helped put indie games on the map, and finally, Jonathan Blow is ready to release his next game, an open-world puzzle-adventure game called The Witness. A lot has been made of the fact that the game will cost $40, but Blow estimates that the average player will take about 20 to 25 hours to beat the game, with completionists expected to take anywhere from 70 to 100 if they intend to truly 100% the game.
What's in this cave down here?
The first game from Campo Santo, a development studio consisting of Telltale, Double Fine, and 2K Marin developers, FIREWATCH is a first-person mystery/adventure game with a heavy focus on character development, player choice, and exploration. FIREWATCH probably won't be for everyone, and if you're the type who scoffs at games like Gone Home, Oxenfree, and other similar narratively driven adventure games, this probably won't do much for you. Personally, I can't wait to get lost in the Wyoming wilderness, pondering the mysteries that FIREWATCH has in store.
The world you once knew is no more.
As far as turn-based strategy goes, it doesn't get any better than the XCOM series, and all signs point to XCOM 2 continuing that trend. The sequel features a new concealment mechanic that allows players to actually get the jump on the aliens this time around, a wide variety of new enemies with nasty abilities that only add to the already brutal difficulty, expanded customization options, and much, much more. Too much more for me to really go into in a short blurb. Seriously though, if you're into strategy games, read up on XCOM 2 because it all sounds really exciting. As I mentioned in my video preview, I have my reservations about The Division. Namely, it had some substantial technical issues, and the game doesn't really seem suited for single-player play. But playing it with a group of 3 was genuinely a blast. Sure, the bullet-spongy enemies take a lot of satisfaction out of the gameplay, but it's got that tried-and-true action RPG appeal of making every level up, every new piece of gear, and every new skill point exciting, because of the ways that it makes your character stronger and alters the way you play. Not to mention, the Dark Zone is a super interesting mix of PvE and PvP, along with a little bit of DayZ added in. Check my preview for some more info. UNRAVEL was one of my favorite games I got to play at E3 last year, and it's honestly one of the games I'm personally most excited about in 2016. UNRAVEL is an endlessly charming 2D platformer starring a yarn doll appropriately named Yarny, who navigates through the world leaving a red trail of yarn wherever he goes, and he uses his own stringy body to swing, climb, pull, push, and most importantly, warm your heart. Far Cry Primal is exactly what the Far Cry franchise needed to avoid the pitfall of franchise fatigue that a certain other Ubisoft franchise had fallen into. Far Cry Primal retains the core components of what makes up a Far Cry game, but changes everything around that core thanks to the prehistoric setting. Gone are the guns, flamethrowers, and rocket launchers, and they're replaced instead by bows, spears, slings, and a new beast taming mechanic that almost gives off some Pokemon vibes, as you add beasts to your collection, each with their own attributes and special abilities. The sequel to the surprisingly fun Plants vs. Zombies spin-off, Garden Warfare 2 looks to provide more of the same zany class-based warfare, only this time turning the tables by featuring a story that puts players in control of the zombies as they attempt to fend off the invading plants to prevent them from reclaiming suburbia. GW2 features 14 different classes with more than 100 playable characters, split-screen multiplayer for the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and 6 game modes that are playable with up to 24 players. I can't think of a game that has lost as much goodwill from its fanbase as Mighty No. 9, and to an extent, it's easy to understand. Concept's handling of Mighty No. 9 from a marketing perspective has been absolutely dreadful.
You see this game right here?
Yes, sir.
This is Mighty No. 9, and all it wants to be is fun, and challenging, and fun, and replayable as hell. And oh, did I mention fun?
That being said, at this point I've played hours of Mighty No. 9 at various conventions, always having a great time and always going back for more. It's fast, it's challenging, the level designs are clever, and each has a distinct feel, and even if it's not the Messiah that has come to deliver Mega Man back from the wretched hands of Capcom, it's still going to be a pretty good 2D shooter platformer. And you know what? I miss those. Almost everything about the new Hitman seems really exciting. A return to the Blood Money style of giant open-ended environments, littered with entry points, exit routes, hidden alternative entrances, and most importantly, intricate murder opportunities that you must work really hard for. The caveat? Square Enix's weird episodic delivery plan, which has the potential to be either weird but fine, I guess, or completely awful. Time will tell. No caveat here, Street Fighter V looks amazing. Every mainline Street Fighter game goes out of its way to vary up its fighting mechanics substantially, and Street Fighter V is no exception. Each character now has their own V-skill, which can be executed by pressing both medium buttons at the same time to execute a unique special move that frequently defines that character and gives them an advantage that no other character shares. In addition, combo windows are substantially more forgiving, removing a tremendous barrier of entry that existed in Street Fighter IV. Backdashes no longer give invincibility against attacks, and several characters that have not been seen since the Street Fighter Alpha days are making their return, along with a host of brand new characters. And that's it for part 1. Next time, I'll jump into numbers 20 through 11, covering some of the most exciting releases from April to June, before concluding with the absolute top 10 upcoming games that are currently slated for release in the first half of 2016. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.